created to have some fun together, sharing and singing. So, join and enjoy.
Our love for opera brings us together. Thanks for being with us in this trip.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. And after a couple of weeks, yes, we took a couple of weeks off. We needed to take some rest. After those 2 weeks of rest, we are back with a third season of our program, Opera We Love Singing. And we have a few surprises coming. One of them we are going to be sharing with you in about 30 minutes. I think it's a surprise that you are all going to love. But the second thing that I wanted to tell you is that we are so happy and so impressed because, well, if you have been following us for a few weeks or a couple of months already, you may have noticed that at the beginning of each cycle, at the beginning of each season, we have Katya singing something. And that's what we did for the third season. And it gained a good number of views in a very short amount of time. And we are so very happy, so very proud about it. And for that reason, we would like to dedicate today's program to the very beautiful country that you can see. Well, you can see the country, but you cannot see Katya. So now you can see Katya. Uh, because we have that very beautiful country called the Philippines. The Philippines, according to YouTube, because we always talk about the people listening to us in the podcasts, and we hardly ever talk about the YouTube followers. But today we will be talking about them because the Philippines accounts for more than 50% of the view of that introductory video to the third season. And we are so happy, so astonished to see the very high response from that very beautiful country called the Philippines that we really would like to thank you for that. You know, musicians, singers, artists in general feed from the love of people, and what more can we ask? What more than this love that we can ask that the one we just got from the Philippines? Katya, would you like to say something for the people from the Philippines?
Sure. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing your time and this love for the music and for the opera. It is a very beautiful surprise to know that we are being heard in a such beautiful place as Philippines. We are honored. Thank
And well, we are going to leave this beautiful image, at least from Google Maps, from the Philippines for the whole program, the entire program, because we really would like to dedicate today's program to the people in Philippines who will certainly be watching us. As you also know, we will continue in the next programs to add or to make our best effort to include information or music from the countries that are now following us. But enough for that. Season 3. What is season 3? Season 3 we are going to enjoy so much because you may recall that season 2 was part or a number of the most popular arias around the world that have been beloved, well, very much loved around the world. But now it's time to share with you our own favorites. And we also decided that this is going to be a short season because if we were to share all the melodies that we love, this program would last 4 years. But so for that reason, we are going to keep it short, maybe 6 to 8 programs maximum. So today's the first one. And I know that you like it as much as I like it when Katya is the one who starts singing. So, Katya, what is it that you are going to share with us and why do you love this melody?
I think that I will start this season with some old melodies that are special for me. In this case, I'm about to start with Per la Gloria de Adorarti because it's a beautiful song that I heard, well, like many years ago with James One. And that's the It has a very special place in my heart. I think it's a very lovely melody, and I always remember this in this. So I hope that everybody there enjoys this as much as they will and has Sì, sì, io per sì, sì, io per Mai vostri considerai, e voghi mai, che non, non va male, mai vostri considerai, che voghi mai, non, non va male.
And that very beautiful melody, Per la gloria de adorarvi, and the way it wraps, I mean, it ends in a very, I would say, intimate style, because it is not a high note, it is not an ornament, it is not a very long sustained note, it's just Lucicarmi. You see, it's like, I don't know, like an expression of absolute
In
beauty.
Italian, perhaps I would like to read here an appointment that says con abbandono. That sounds to me.
Yeah, and As for my part, I wanted to share you that you are, if you have been following us for a good number of or several programs, you already know that we like to do in this program whatever pleases us. More particularly in my case, Katia is, you know that she adheres a lot more to tradition than what I do. So in a season where we are to share our favorites, I could do it even more. And even though we said that we will start with arias, I am going to be sharing anything but arias. Most of the parts that I will be sharing are parts that are declamato, parlato, quasi parlato, or any variation that is not really singing. But let me tell you why. It is not that I like arias. Of course, I do love them. But I have shared with you in the past that, and we also mentioned it in a previous program, singing is of course an art, but the art of opera has a lot to do with theater. It's not only music, it has to do with theater. And singers are trained in the impostation for a clear, powerful, well done emission, but the technique for speaking or doing something else is different to the technique of the impostation of singing. And for that reason, there are many times that since the singer is very worried for what is coming next, pays little attention to how these phrases or parts fit into the drama. And to give you an example of that, I would like to share with you the most famous priestess of the history of opera, and that is, of course, Norma. People know Norma for the, of course, Casta Diva, which very few singers are able to sing, but they tend to forget that at the beginning, or at least at a few seconds after she appears on stage, she sings, or well, she does not really sing, but she has a part. Uh, for that, you have to consider that she's from that religious perspective for the Druids, she's the highest authority. So she speaks with authority. Prior to singing Costa Diva, prior to singing that, she is in front of her people and she's not punishing them, but telling them, hey guys, what are you doing? You want to go into war with the Romans? That is not going to work. We are going to lose. They have more powerful weapons than we do. And only if the singer understands that herself is when you are going to clearly understand how Norma is the most important role for the Druids and for the whole drama. But if the soprano is worried that, oh my God, how I'm going to sing that, because right after that comes a Casta Diva. So it is usually given in a way of singing rather than in a way of a lot more like the clamato. And for that purpose, let me tell you what I think should be the tone of it. I think that the tone of it must be something like when you are, telling people, guys, you have to behave well, okay? So, but you are telling that with authority. And when she opens her phrases, she starts telling, sediziosi voci di guerra. So she says, what are those voices who are claiming for war? Is there anyone who dares to do that in front of the altar of our gods? But she has to do it with authority. And that's what is usually missing. And that's why I usually like it. As in most of the parts that I will be sharing with you today, there is not a very firm reading in the score because it's expected not to be sung. So it is not mimim. It has to be sediziosi voci di guerra, avi che alzarsi attenta presso l'ora del Dio. Va chi presso me detta responsi alla veggente norma di Roma fretar il fatuo arcano e non dipende, no, non dipende da potere umano. If you see, it is not really singing, it's more, it is not shouting either, and it is not yelling, but it's not clearly singing. So when Orbeso has in its intervention trying to put a position against Norma and says, e fino a quando oppressi ne vorrai tu, contaminati assai, non fur le patrie selve e i templi aviti dall'aquile latine, o mai di Brenno oziosa, non può starsi la spada. And the choir joins because they still want to war and says, si brandisca una volta. And after that strong opposition of the male choir, Norma, again with that level of authority, goes and says, e infranta cada, infranta si alcun di voi snodarla, anzi tempo pretende, ancor non sono della nostra vendetta i dimatori, dall'essi cambri scuri, sono i pini romani, ancor più forti. Again, the Oroveso and the choir, the male choir of warriors, says, e che t'annunzia il Dio parla quai sorti. This final part of the presentation of Norma, preaching their people, it's the one that I like a lot, because if you know history, this is where, of course, Bellini, having lived after the extinction of the Romans, knows that Roma will die as a victim of its own sins. And that's what Norma says here. Io ne volomi arcani, leggo del cielo, in pagine di morte della superba Roma è scritto il nome, ella un giorno morrà, ma non per voi, morrà per i vizi suoi, qual consunta morrà. L'ora aspettate, l'ora fatal, che compia il gran decreto. Pace vintimo e il sacro mischio io mieto. If people tend to forget this passage, I would really, really, really love to encourage you to pay attention to this presentation, because this is where we gain understanding of the authority of Norma. And if you follow it, it's a very dramatic part one. But as every time that I do something dramatic, we like to go back to Katia, who puts something fresher and nicer to the atmosphere.
Yes, because I'm a nightingale.
Yeah, we know that.
I'm a lot of nightingales, actually.
We know, and we have heard you a good number of times. What is it that you're going to be sharing with us now?
In this moment, I will share Danza Danza Fanciulla Gentile. It is a special piece of music because I remember that when I was preparing to make my admission test for university, this was the piece that I was required. So it has a special place in my life.
Good. Let's go for that very beautiful song.
Danza, danza, Gira leggera al sole, al suono dell'onde mar. Sente il rumore del fuoco che parla con largo suono e che cosa che invita a danza, danza, la gente, la gente, al mio cantare, al mio canzone,
And I wanted now that you have shared this beautiful piece of music with us, I wanted to maybe uh, reframe something that we have shared in the past. That I really think that it is a gift if you believe in God, of course, a gift of God. If not, remember we have shared with you in the past this beautiful passage from Le Fantôme de l'Opéra about the angel of music. And I really think it is a gift that one can read out to a melody or open a score and suddenly find something that you love, that you like, and say, "Hey, I'm going to sing this," just because I
yes.
can or because I like this thing that I just heard. How did you run into this beautiful melody and decided to make it part of your repertory?
Um, my mom loves Spanish and gypsy music, so I was raised listening this kind of music too. Paso doble and gypsy things. So I have the taste for this kind of music too. So when I sing music like this one, I'm dancing within myself. It's like if it's like I am myself, Carmen. It's the same thing, and it's exciting. It's funny. It's but spicy.
Yeah, but that's thanks to the characteristics of your voice that you can sing that. Of course, that is not my case. My voice getting darker every day or every week. Uh,
You will sing to that, to drum.
and because we all love drama, I would like to share with you now a part, a small passage that you must be very familiar with, and it is the La Preghiera da Desdemona in Otello, of course, and this tremendous masterpiece by Maestro Giuseppe Verdi. And if you have seen Otello from beginning to end, it's an absolute drama from ah, and there is the one of the best villains of the world of the opera. I mean, Iago is a horrible monster, and I will be sharing with you my favorite monsters of opera. Of course, the the villains of opera. I will be sharing with you, but later today we are keeping these parts that are not really sung in the strict way. Are as for the before Desdemona in that final act when she will be killed in the hands of Othello. If you have seen it or either in a live presentation or in a video, you know that she's in her room, in the bedroom, the bedroom she shares with Othello, and she has this feeling that she will die that night. That of course it happens, But after having lived a very violent scene, the prior act wraps up in a tremendous violence of her being offended in front of everyone by her husband Othello. One leaves that act with the heart, or at least that is my case, that you feel something very heavy in your heart for Desdemona because you see how unfair uh, her husband Othello is being to her, how cruel, how offensive. So when she starts in the following act, and if you remember after that very beautiful melody from the hands of Maestro Verdi, she goes for her preghiera, her Ave Maria, and but people tend to forget that at the very beginning, before the Ave Maria, she says something. She's in a mood of you have to tell yourself, or you have to ask yourself. The soprano has to build the complete scene because Verdi has put the music there. That uh, sort of lonely, sad, that premonition of death of music, and the soprano has to match the same mood with the music. So how should a soprano start that phrasing when she says mia madre aveva una povera ancella? You remember, or you may recall that mia madre aveva una povera ancella innamorata e bella, era il suo nome Barbara, che amava un uomo che poi l'abbandonò, cantava una canzone, la canzone del salice, mi discerna le chiome. When she asks Emilia, because Emilia is her maid and is helping her to undress and get ready to, she at the end will wait for Othello to join her in the bedroom. Emilia perceives that Desdemona seems not to be there. It's not Mimi singing Mia madre aveva una povera ancella. It's like Desdemona is lost somewhere in her emotions. Like she's there, but she's really not there. Like she's escaping to a place where she's still happy when she was young. And that's why she recalls Mia madre aveva una povera ancella, of course, recalling her mother. With that in your mind, next time that you watch Othello or that you listen to Othello, pay attention to that phrasing. Even though it's almost sung, it is not as legato and very well sustained as if you were singing Puccini's music or a more lyrical Verdi. It is like you are lost. Mia madre aveva una povera ancella, innamorata e bella, era il suo nome Barbara, che amava un uomo che poi l'abbandonò, cantava una canzone, la canzone del salice, mi discerna le chiome. Io questa sera ho la memoria piena di quella cantilena. And right after that is when La Canzone del Salce, that song actually starts. But that very beautiful introductory part of pure sadness and premonition of death is what actually opens that act. And that's why the soprano must be so in a full state of concentration, because too beautiful will not make it believable. A very beautiful scene is not what we are pursuing. We are pursuing a woman who has suffered so much. It is very difficult to end up watching Othello and not feeling so bad because Desdemona is the victim from the beginning till the end. In a way, Othello is also a victim of himself, if you wish. But at the end, the one who is punished in front of everyone and with injustice is Desdemona with herself. So I wanted to leave this note about Desdemona. But let's go back to what Katya shares with us, which is less dramatic than this. What do you have for us now?
I don't think so.
You have something dramatic? Don't tell me that.
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, share with us. What is it going to be?
Okay, this is going to be Ho cessato di piegarmi. I want to prove myself that I can be more than worth.
Okay.
Maybe a dramatic verb.
Okay, a dramatic verb it will be then. Because,
Okay.
and maybe just because you start uh, the sadness, and that maybe you would like to take also a minute to explain. You can sing uh, notes that appear to be happy, but it is the artist who conveys the sense of happiness, drama, sadness, thankfulness, and all of that. So,
Yes,
how do you prepare? Because and it is your case because of your voice. You are more used to expressing joy, cheerfulness, a happy, open person. How do you actually work it within your mind when you have to perform something more like
yes,
this?
I think that this is part of being an artist, a real one. I could feel comfortable and safe only singing like a bird because most of the repertoire is written that way. But I have to keep in mind that it's not the only thing that I can express. I can mainly express it, not exclusively. And, for example, the you mentioned Queen of the Night, she's the main one in the story, and she's a coloratura. So you have to see all these virtuosos, but not as a birth. You are the queen of the night, asking your daughter to kill some. So you can use these fireworks to express drama and hate. So it's all about understanding the character. Probably I will not sound as Norma or like Chocho, but in my voice I can express drama.
Yeah,
I mean, I cry and I cry like, like right, but I'm crying.
you cry in your own way. Yeah,
Yes.
you cry the
So
way your tesitura allows to do it.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's then enjoy that beautiful song then.
luci di notte, luci notte di notte, in cute riceve più armi,